Ladies and gentlemen, to literally nobody's surprise, another massive YouTuber has been exposed as a creep. What you would even consider a Chris Tyson, Ava Chris Tyson 2.0. We all remember that drama from a few years back. This person was related to that drama to an extent, as they were discovered to have been very close to Shadman. We are talking Nux Taku, one of the largest reaction content creators on this side of YouTube.
My go-to rule is when there's ever an anime character that looks like they're 10 freaking years old, they're probably 900-year-old vampires that have lied in wait for far too long.
Who has recently been exposed in a 1-hour video by none other than Nikandros in a video titled Nux Taku Ruined a Child's Life for $46. Now, you may wonder who Nikandros is. Well, he's basically the one who started this all back in these videos, Mutahar Newt, where he dived into how Mutahar, aka Some Ordinary Gamers, actually knew a lot more about his buddy Nux Taku than he made it seem like.
For far too long.
These are the four horsemen of the apocalypse we're looking at right now. This is like some mythological.
They've been around since long before civilization.
Exactly.
This is the 5 rules of the Onami household.
Okay.
These are the little sisters, by the way.
Okay, this is a
First rule, hug your little sister every day.
Okay, it's fine, okay. It's just hug her for at least 10 seconds. There's nothing wrong with a hug.
As this 1-hour and 20-minute video breaks down a lot about this guy, including a Discord that he used to essentially sweep up minors, basically posting NSFW content in a Discord with minors, even acknowledging the fact that he made this Discord with 16-year-olds as the limit.
On December 30th of 2021, Nux Taku would launch his Discord server.
That's right, I opened a public Discord server. I swore to myself I would never do it because the degeneracy would be too much and the degeneracy is already too much. So join that Discord server. It's a public server. It's open. 16 or older though, please?
I am happy that he has a minimum age rule this time, but setting it to 16 is a massive self-report that he is aware that a large chunk of his audience is underage. It's also highly questionable given his decision to launch the server with a set of NSFW channels, including an NSFW voice channel.
Now, of course, the huge problem with this Discord allowing NSFW content is that they were not verified, right? It's not like you had to show an ID and prove to the owners of the server or anything that you were 18 years old. No, you literally just click to roll, right? So this guy's advertising a Discord saying hey, you just got to be 16. And then they can just click on the NSFW roll, get their roll, and have access to see all types of content, right? Whether it be the lollipop stuff they want, anime stuff. Now, this Discord did eventually remove these not safe for work channels. One of the head moderators named Madoop ended up saying that underage billies were claiming to be 18 plus to access channels. Now, this video also dives into Nux Taku making a second Discord, which was for people who joined his Patreon. And in this Patreon Discord that had no age limit, a 14-year-old joined and asked Nux Taku to make a NSFW channel, to which Nux Taku did it. And then after this 14-year-old joined, of course, they would start engaging in it. They would see Nux Taku post NSFW content, right, including thumbnails of not safe for work characters from things like Pokemon and whatnot. And this user acknowledges and says that they are 15 years old, to which Nux Taku, no moderators, attempt to ask this person if they're joking. They just go with it, right? And there's even people in this Discord who acknowledge on voice calls that this person sounds young, that they act young. Everything about them screams young. It's given red flags, right? It's given warning signs that someone, I guess, who enjoys watching lollipop artwork and enjoys this kind of content will be a green flag, right? They'll have those green radars going on, green buzzwords. And again, a lot of this only is being so hyper-focused on is because Nux Taku tries to put out this character that he's this big hero. He's calling out the predators, right? He's calling out the bad people. And the funny thing about this whole Discord is Nux Taku himself was so quick to jump onto the Ava Tyson bandwagon, right? Calling out Ava Tyson for essentially doing the exact same thing he was doing, such as reacting and enjoying Shadman man's content, such as having a Discord with a bunch of minors doing inappropriate things and also having NSFW shared. And you could even go as far as saying that Nux Taku, just like Ava Tyson, had built this audience of younger people based on who they associate with. In Nux Taku's case, it's not because he's friends with, Mr. Beast and has all these connections to other family-friendly YouTubers. It's the fact that Nux Taku's content was mainly centered around like children's characters and making this NSFW videos that are censored for the most part to kind of like get around YouTube's policies.
He's regularly uploading content sexualizing children's cartoon characters onto a 13+ platform. Characters designed to appeal to children and more likely to be recommended to children. If you look at this video's comments, you see dozens of children explicitly reporting their ages, many of them being under 13. These are not adults pretending to be children as a joke. I've seen what's on their channels. They are uploading videos of themselves onto their channels and then leaving public comments under Nux Taku's videos for anyone in the world to see. There are thousands of comments like this scattered all over Nux Taku's backlog, some new, some old, but many of them are from children who are still minors.
Right? Like as a YouTuber, we all go through, censoring things to an extent because we want to make money, right? I'll censor some curse words. I'll exclude some things that are a little explicit that YouTube won't like. But what Nux Taku would do is include basically 18 plus content and then just add a filter or blur over it as if that somehow makes it not 18 plus content, right? And Nux Taku knew that these younger people were a part of his audience because when he would do contests to like give away money, he would have submissions from children. And then he would decide to show those submissions in the videos, which is obviously stupid.
Nux Taku saw one of his child fans with his own eyes. On October 31st of 2020, he requested his audience to email him the most cursed NSFW videos or memes for a chance to win $1,000. No limit on how horrible it is. Despite requesting NSFW content, the announcement does not list a minimum age, so Nux Taku was giving a financial incentive to minors to find the worst NSFW content they could. After a day, he'd already received thousands of submissions. He would review these submissions a month later in a video with Oompaville and Iron Mouse. Among those submissions was a video that one of Nux Taku's child fans had recorded of themselves.
Oh, what? Bro.
I don't even know what that was.
That was some kid just sent you a video of them shitting and then shooting a dog with a Nerf gun.
It's not CSAM. It's some little boy farting into their phone camera. Then they shoot at their dog with a Nerf gun. There's no nudity, and you can't even see their face. However, they are clearly a child, and based on the size of their hand, a very young one at that.
You should obviously not include children in participating in these contests, participating on your channel when you know you create content, right? Obviously, as a YouTuber, when you reach a certain level of success, you're not going to be able to keep everyone out, right? When I look at my analytics, it says most of my viewers are like 18 to like 30, right? Obviously, some are going to lie and say they're above 18 or whatever, right? But I also don't make content reviewing adult materials, right? I will cover things that are more adult orientated, right? That I want a more adult, more mature audience to watch and listen to and understand. But I am not pulling up, my goon folder and reviewing it with you guys. Like, all right, guys, let's scroll through. This one's my top 10 BBWs. Here's my top 10. No. When you have literal children in the comments saying, I'm a kid and I did this, I'm a kid and I did this, right? Now, I've done videos in the past, of course, calling out like children related things, which Nux Taku is not doing. He's not telling people, do not go to this site. We need to ban R34 Pokemon. No, he's showing you guys like compilations of the best stuff out there for all the little ones who can't access the internet and are, scared that parents are going to check their history. They can just go to Nux Taku's archive and find all the content, their favorite Pokemon characters, their favorite Dragon Ball Z girls and Naruto girls, all but booty cheeked out. Of course, It's going to be censored. The Nux Taku censoring is going to come in and save the day for YouTube standards, of course. Now, again, I highly implore you guys to check out Nikandros' videos. Not only just the Nux Taku one, but also check out the ones on Mutahar. Probably one of his most viral videos where he calls out Muta for being a fake engineer that caused like a huge crap storm to the point where Muta even took like a few months long break on YouTube. Go check him out. This video is very long, very detailed, and there's like, I want to say like 20 minutes of this video is him just going through more messages in that Discord, again, featuring this 14, 15-year-old user. So again, I highly suggest you check it out. I highly suggest you try to understand why this is so important and why this is so interesting, because Nux Taku might get away with this if people aren't, you know, signal boosting this. If people aren't checking the video out, sharing it around, trying to understand why it's so important, because we were so quick, right? Me, myself, and I, and now other YouTubers were so quick to cancel Ava Tyson, rightfully so, and their careers basically finished, right? They can't even step foot on YouTube without people going to go bananas on them. But Nux Taku can continue to post his political slop, his obvious grift content that he's now shifted to making political nonsense instead of gooner bait for younger audiences, because he obviously knew this day was going to come for about a year or two now, where people are slowly starting to look into those involved with Shadman, like Elvis the Alien and whatnot. It is now time for Nux Taku to get the spotlight as the next Ava Chris Tyson, right? Go check out Nikandros. I appreciate you guys watching. Peace out.